The Red Sox won a crazy extra innings game last night, but then we got a report from Jeff Passan that says the Red Sox probably aren't going to be very aggressive at the deadline. So I want to hear from you. What do you think the Red Sox are going to do at the deadline? Do you think they're going to buy or do you think they're going to sell? Type B if you think they're going to buy or type S if you think they're going to sell. I want to hear your thoughts down below in the comments because we're getting conflicting reports all over the place. So you let me know. B for buy, S for sell. Let me know down below in the comments. Welcome back into another edition of the Red Sox Rundown. I am your host, Jack. The Red Sox get their first extra innings game on the road win all season last night, which was awesome to see. Off day today, which is really great. And then they take on the Dodgers starting tomorrow. And so the Red Sox are staying alive. They are still in a playoff spot. And at the time of recording this, I'm not sure if the Rays have lost yet or not. They were losing at the time of recording this. Did they lose? Tampa Bay also lost. So you're a game and a half up on Tampa Bay in the wild card, which is a really great sign. So we're going to talk about all of that on the back half of the video. But today, Jeff Passan released his article, his big trade deadline preview. The trade deadline is a week away. A lot is going to happen in the next week. I'm very excited for it. That's why you subscribe. But he released his big trade deadline preview. It has intel on every team, their biggest need, their best asset, their best fit, what he thinks they're going to do at the deadline. And he dropped kind of a bombshell on the Red Sox, which we're going to talk about today. So first things first, what did he think the Red Sox needed? Blah, 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 blah. He thinks their biggest need is high-end starting pitching. We've been talking about that for weeks now. I think that that's pretty obvious. Their best asset is Jarren Duran. We've been talking about that for weeks. And he said Joe Ryan was the best fit, which was very, very, very interesting. So let's talk about it all. The biggest, most damning report that we got in this article was the fact that he doesn't think the Red Sox are really inclined to make any big moves at the deadline. Here's what Passan had to say. He said, at this moment, the Red Sox are not inclined to engage in any large-scale deadline moves. Chief Baseball Officer Craig Breslow has said the team wants to add after trading Devers, and while it would surprise no one if they did, Boston is an organization that deeply values operating efficiently. And a market like this is the epitome of inefficient. Holding now would speak to the Red Sox comfort with their current roster and the exceptional price to bolster it. Not what you want to hear. I think everyone was very excited for this deadline because all the quotes we've gotten and all the reports we've gotten from Breslow, from Kennedy, from Cora, from everyone in the front office, all of the Red Sox beat reporters have been reporting that the Red Sox are going to be incredibly aggressive at the deadline and very active at the deadline. And now Jeff Passan comes in and just drops this absolute bombshell of a report, and now it sounds like it's same crap, different year. The Red Sox want to be efficient. Well, Craig Breslow said it himself a few months ago. You can only look at the future for so long. Eventually, the future needs to be now. And if they are not inclined to engage in large-scale deadline moves, then what's the point? At that point, you might as well just sell for more prospect assets in the future. So, I don't think that reporting is 100% accurate. I trust Passan with my life. I think that he is by far the best reporter on baseball in general, but we've seen we've had way too much smoke for there not to be fire around the Red Sox being active. And like he said, it would not surprise anyone if they did get active, but he doesn't think they're inclined to, which is a fairly significant change in tone from anything we've heard so far this season. Now, Passan had some more quotes, which we're going to go through here for a second. So It's a big quote, so just bear with me, but I wanted to say everything that he's been saying. Boston's everyday lineup is strong enough all the way around the diamond to chase upgrades. The Red Sox have a glut of outfielders, the reason Duran is being talked about. But manager Alex Cora has done the yeoman's work to get them all happy and in the lineup regularly. Their starting pitching behind Garrett Crochet has stabilized enough to keep them in contention for the postseason without sacrificing the prospect capital it would take to land Ryan. At the same time, though, the Red Sox are weak in enough spots, non-Cedon Rafael and Carlos Narvaez defense, base running, to acknowledge that this might not be the year to chase a player on an expiring contract such as Seth Lugo. This also goes against most of the reporting that we've seen so far this season. I keep going back to the quote from Breslow. Eventually, the future has to be now. The Red Sox see this team as a team that can compete for a playoff spot and compete deep into the playoffs. Do we realistically think they're going to win the World Series? Probably not. But go for it, though. You've got the capital to go for it. And also, I also want to say this: their rotation is stabilized enough without giving up the prospect capital to land Joe Ryan. Joe Ryan is not Lucas Giolito, Walker Buehler, Brian Bayo. Joe Ryan is a certified number 2 pitcher in any rotation he goes into, and he's got team control. You're not just bringing him in like a Seth Lugo is a rental. That's a very different scenario. And so I don't really, I don't love that line from Passan because, Ryan is not just going to be some stabilizer. He is going to be a certified number 2 in the rotation if he gets traded to Boston. So, and on top of that, the pitching hasn't stabilized. Buehler is he's shoved in game 1 of the Phillies series, but he's still been incredibly inconsistent. I don't trust him at all. Richard Fitz did not pitch well in Game 2. Lucas Giolito did not look good last night, gave up 4 home runs. This lineup is not stable, or this rotation is not stable whatsoever. You need, and I mean need, a number 2 starting pitcher. You do not have a number 2 behind Garrett Crochet. So I don't really agree with Passan in the effect of, the rotation's stable enough where you don't need Joe Ryan. No, if you can get Joe Ryan, go get Joe Ryan. I don't care what prospects it takes. Stinson, Garcia, Peyton Tolley. Okay, fine, whatever. Go get Joe Ryan to be your number 2 for years to come. I love Passan. I don't agree with him here. I just don't agree with him here. Passan finishes by saying this. He says, when the Red Sox are playing well, they look like world beaters. And when they're not, they just look beat. Maybe they pony up to get Ryan. Seen it the same way they did in the 4 prospect haul it took to land Crochet. But for now, at least, they simply haven't been willing to go there. So the argument I would make to counter what Passan just said is they need help to not play like they look like they're getting beat. He said when they play well, they look like world beaters. When they don't, they look beat. Okay, well, how do you fix that? By getting the people necessary to help fix the problem. It's not standing pat and not doing anything. That's the definition of insanity. Do you expect things to get different by standing pat and not going after anybody? No. You gotta change. And changing is going out and getting aggressive at the deadline and bringing in the players you need to help bolster your lineup, help bolster your rotation, help bolster your bullpen. The good teams find their flaws and they fix their flaws. They don't stand pat. So I get that this isn't Passan's opinion. He's doing the reporting that he does. But it goes against every single thing that we've heard. So it does not formulate for me. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So this is a huge bombshell. If the Red Sox legitimately do stand pat at the deadline, there is going to be an uproar close to, if not the same as Full Throttle a few years ago. There legitimately will be. So if Passan's reporting is true, Those are some damning words about what the Red Sox's priorities are going into the trade deadline. But you let me know, do you believe Jeff Passan? Do you agree with Jeff Passan and what he says? Type A for agree, type D for disagree. I disagree with what he's saying. I think that it goes against everything that we've heard by all the beat reporters, by all the front office members, by everyone that's done interviews. It completely goes against everything that we've heard. And so I disagree with Jeff Passan. I'm going to type my D for disagree. But if you agree, type A. If you think they should just stand pat, type A. But if you disagree like I do, type D down in the comments. Now, one thing that was interesting that Passan also mentioned was he named Jarren Duran the best fit for the Cincinnati Reds, which is interesting that the Reds are, I mean, they're a good team, but they're in a very difficult division. But he mentioned Andrew Abbott as a potential return, which is very, very interesting. He said, this is what Passan had to say. He said, Andrew Abbott, on the other hand, is putting up, he's talking about pitchers that the Reds would be willing to give away to the Red Sox to get Jarren Duran. He says, Andrew Abbott, on the other hand, is putting up the sort of numbers that Boston is seeking from a starter. But with a fastball of 92, he doesn't scream front of the rotation guy. I'd personally love having Andrew Abbott in this rotation. If that's what it cost, Jarren Duran, I would do it. He's got years of team control. Like, he's got a few years left of team control. So he's not going anywhere. It's not a rental. He would be here for a few years. And he's constantly consistent. Like, his stats have been consistent. It's like Merrill Kelly, who we talked about yesterday. He might not have the ceiling of like a Garrett Crochet or a Joe Ryan, but he's very good and he's very consistent, which is awesome. He does have a high fly ball rate. And he does have some low fastball velo, which is concerning, but he also pitches in a very hitter-friendly ballpark in Cincinnati. So, like, if he can do it there, what's to say he can't do it at Fenway? I would really like the idea of adding Andrew Abbott to this rotation. Now, do I think that'll happen? I don't think so. There was a report from Jesse Rogers a few days ago that the Red Sox are probably not going to trade any of their outfielders at the deadline. And if that happens, then I wouldn't expect a big trade because one of Duran or Abreu would have to be a centerpiece in that trade. And if that's not happening, then I don't see them making a big trade. Like an Andrew Abbott, you're not going to get him for a few prospects. Like a Duran would have to go back and return. But look, if the price is right and they're saying, hey, let's do Duran for Abbott, I would consider it because I think Abbott could be a very consistent force in your rotation that lacks a lot of consistency. But you let me know, would you trade Jarren Duran for Andrew Abbott? T for trade if you would, P for pass if you would not. I think I would. I think I would be typing my T for trade, but you let me know. T for trade, P for pass. Would you trade Jarren Duran for Andrew Abbott? Let me know down below in the comments section. We're going to get to the game here in a second, but first, I ask every video, and I really do appreciate it. If you have not already, please consider hitting that subscribe button. We're 11 minutes into this video. If you're still watching, that means you like what we're doing. I really do appreciate that. This is a passion project for me. The Red Sox are my favorite team in all of sports, and the fact I get to talk about them every day is an absolute blessing. But we're gonna have videos all around the trade deadline, short form content recaps after every single game. If the Red Sox make a trade, inevitably when they do make a trade, we will make full-length videos as well. Don't miss out. This is the one-stop shop for everything surrounding the Boston Red Sox. So hit that subscribe button, make sure you turn on your notifications, and join the family today. Red Sox win 9-8 in 11 innings. This is the Red Sox first road extra inning win this season. They were 0-7 going into this game, and it was a gutsy win. Lucas Giolito looked bad today. I'm just going to say it. He looked bad today, and this is why I'm harping on getting a number 2 starting pitcher, because we thought that Giolito was the answer, but he has not looked good over his past few starts, which is definitely concerning to say the least. Now, they've been against good teams. You talk the Cubs, you talk the Phillies, like those are good teams, but it's concerning nonetheless. He only gives you 6 hits, 5 earned runs, 4 home runs. Like, that just can't happen. You can't do that. The 2 of them come in the bottom of the first, the 2-run shot from Schwarber, and then on the next pitch, Bryce Harper goes yard, hit it into the second deck. You got Castellanos in the third, Bryson Stott in the fourth. It just can't happen. He did not look good today, and that sucked because that was to the detriment of your bullpen. You had 7 relievers pitch in some way, shape, or form last night, and Giolito only giving you 4. Like, 4 is still good, and then, Justin Wilson gave you 2, so that's 6 from 2 pitchers, but then going into extra innings really, really taxed this bullpen. Thankfully, they are off today, but going into this Dodgers series, that is going to be something to look at going forward. The offense, honestly, didn't really do anything special. 7 hits, you strike out 16 times. That's bad. I think that's 34 strikeouts in this series. If I did my quick math correctly, I could be wrong. But that's bad. But on the flip side, you walk 6 times, including multiple in the 5th. You're down 5-0 in this game, and you show incredible poise, incredible determination, and incredible perseverance. You put up 6 in the 5th. Jesus Luzardo completely loses his command of the zone. He walks in 2 runners. Romy Gonzalez comes up. I believe he was 0 for his last 29. If that's the correct stat, you can fact check me if I'm wrong. It's 10:15 at night after the game is over. He hits a grand slam to give you the lead, and then you hold the lead until the 8th. Aroldis Chapman gives up a home run to JT Realmuto. Absolute backbreaker. And then you go into extras. You each get a run in the 10th. And then Carlos Narvaez is the hero in the 11th. He throws out the 3rd runner in the bottom of the 10th, He throws out the 3rd runner, and then he hits the 2-run home run in the 11th to give you the lead that would lead you to the win. Great team win. Some bad performances, though. Wilyer Abreu goes 0 for 5 with 3 Ks. Jarren Duran goes 0 for 5 with 4 Ks. He did have a walk. He did score twice, but one of those was because he was the ghost runner. Bad nights from Duran and Abreu. The others weren't much better, though. Everyone had 1 hit. The only multi-hit game was Narvaez. So your offense didn't look good tonight. You got lucky. You got lucky that Luzardo basically just completely lost the zone in the 5th, and Romy came up and had the big hit, and that saved the game. This was trending towards another blowout in a sweep, but they did show some resilience, which was really great to see, and they got the dub at the end of the day. One injury note that we are tracking, and I do want to check to see. If we've got some updates here. Injury news. Not great injury news. Marcelo Meyer left the game today with what was diagnosed as right wrist pain. We do have updates right here. He does have a splint on his wrist. He is going to get an MRI, I would assume today at some point. And he said it's in pain, but hopefully it's not too severe. So hopefully, we don't know what happened. It happened in the 5th. Like he scored, and then apparently he came into the dugout, he was pointing his right wrist, and apparently there was something wrong. So we don't know what happened. At least not that I've seen. Something happened though. He's in a splint. Hopefully he's okay, and hopefully you're not missing him for too long. Because he's very valuable defensively, and he needs more opportunities at the major league level. And something that has always been a concern with Marcelo Meyer is injuries. When he plays, he's good, but it's when he plays. So hopefully this is not something serious, especially if the Red Sox are going to start to get hot again. The last thing you need is for one of your young players to go down with an injury. So prayers up to him. Hopefully he's okay. We will be tracking this as soon as we get updates. I will have a short form video out for you guys. We'll talk about it in tomorrow's video as well, so don't miss out. That's why you subscribe at the end of the day. Okay, time to look forward real quick, and then we're going to get on out of here. The Dodgers come to town. This is the last series of this gauntlet. The schedule doesn't get much easier. I'm just going to be real. Like, the schedule doesn't get easier, but, of this, NL gauntlet, this is it. So you head back to Fenway for a 3-game series. You got Emmett Sheehan against Brian Bayo on Friday. I like that matchup for the Sox. I'm not going to lie. Bayo's going to have to bring his stuff, though. On Saturday, You've got Garrett Crochet versus Clayton Kershaw on Fox. That's going to be a really great game to watch. And then Sunday, you've got, where is it? You've got Walker Buehler versus Dustin May. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, guys. The Dodgers have been struggling. Mookie apparently is not going to play on Friday due to personal reasons. Hopefully everything's okay. Is it crazy to think I have the Red Sox winning this series, taking 2 out of 3? Am I crazy to say that? You're back home at Fenway. You're back in your own bed at night. And the pitching matchups don't seem that crazy. You're not facing anyone that I think is like a world beater like a Zach Wheeler or a Shota Imanaga. Is it crazy that I think they win like the first 2 games of this series? I definitely think they win the Crochet game. Kershaw's good, but he's not what he used to be, and Crochet is Crochet. And then I think they steal another one of those 2 games. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think the Red Sox might win this series. But you let me know. Predict the Red Sox record against the Dodgers. Let me know down below in the comments. I'm going to say 2 out of 3. I think that kind of sounds crazy. Maybe I'm coping for how bad they've been playing lately, but you can win 2 out of 3 and you can take some momentum into your next series and into the trade deadline. You might be cooking with gas, guys. Like, I know I've been overly negative, but like they haven't been playing well. But if they can take some momentum and they can win like 2 out of 3 off the Dodgers, you're cooking with some gas. So we'll see. You let me know. Predict their record down below in the comments. Make sure you subscribe if you have not already. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video. We'll be back tomorrow with more news and rumors. We're actually going to film our Q&A today at the time that you're watching this from Instagram. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you give me a follow. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And until next time, go Sox.